I'm Zach.
And this is the very 18th episode of In the Zone. Today we'll be discussing the episode The Last Flight, so you can watch it on Netflix, Hulu, or IMDb. I know we did. Let's start with the plot. So, there's an airplane, and there's a man in the airplane, and Rod Sterling, the narrator, tells us that it is 1917, and he's lost, and he's like, ah!
But it is possible that you are not just lost in space, but time. It was better in the Franklin voice.
Oh, yeah, and there's like, it was going good, he lost in time. That was my impersonation of your impersonation. So then he is lost, and he's like, wow, and then he lands at an airbase. And people are like, hey, what do you think you're doing there? What do you think you're doing there?
They were like, why is he landing that relic here? No, it wasn't
Yeah, the antique.
Antique. They said antique, not relic.
And they take him, they drive him over to the building nearby, where there's this guy, named George Harper. He's at his desk. And so Decker is his name. Terrence Decker comes in, and he does this pose like...
Decker.
Yes, sorry.
And then he stamps his foot, which I think was a little bit rude.
Yeah, and so then George Harper's like,
I think there's something about that in the sentence.
He's like, hey, what's up with this guy? And they're like, he landed his ship on our field.
He's like, I didn't know the Americans were so advanced.
Yes, I was about to say that. Yeah. Another one of those clever, like, time travel type things. And George Harper's like, is there some kind of air show or film about? And he's like, air show? Film? Why, I don't know what you're talking about.
He was fairly good. I think his British accent diminished, though, as the show went on.
No, I think it was real.
Okay.
Whatever.
I don't know.
I'll
I stopped noticing.
I will look it up. And they said whether the guy was born in England or not. He's like, then why are you wearing this costume? Well, this is my uniform.
I work for the Royal Flying Corps. The Royal Air Force? No, the Royal Flying Corps.
He said Corps, because that's how it's pronounced.
Corps, I don't even know.
And he's like,
I thought it was corpse. So shoot me.
And he says, I thought I was landing at 56 Squadron R.F.C. And they're like, bah, bah, bah! And I was like, what the heck is 56 Squadron R.F.C.? You had no idea what 56 Squadron R.F.C. was, right? Did you?
No.
Alright, good. So they were like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And he's like, what's the date? And he's like, it's March 5th. What's the year? 1917. Wah, wah, wah. Wowzers. No, it's actually 1959, and you're wrong. He looks and sees a cloud, and he's like, I know that cloud. I was swallowed up by it like a vacuum. And then I landed over here.
Someone else was swallowed up by it, and they disappeared to never be seen again.
Oh, yeah. What was that about? He just said some dumb quote. It was... What did
I don't
that
know. Apparently, like,
the
the cardinal at someone's funeral who disappeared said that, like, he was meant for the air, and the air took him.
I believe he tried to make some kind of connection between those two things, but it didn't really work.
Yeah.
And so he's saying, oh, maybe that was the mechanism by which I time traveled, or that's what I was thinking. Because
no, he said it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he said something like that. Because not always in the Twilight Zone do they give you a mechanism for the time travel. Sometimes it just happens. How does he bring up Alexander Mackay? Who brings it up?
I don't know. Maybe like, he brought it up. He was like, he mentioned like Lieutenant Mackay. Mackay, you surely don't mean Alexander Mackay.
Alright, he's like, how do you know his name? He's alive. And he said, it's impossible.
No, he died.
Because he's dead. Wow, that's the big stinger. We have the assistant and the major guy, George Harper, along with the assistant, I kept calling him in my notes. His name's Major Wilson. And Major Wilson is like, he believes him, kind of, but the George Harper, he kept saying like, no, I don't believe. Well, it is possible, but it's not. But who knows? It didn't make sense what he was saying. Mr. Wilson walks over to Decker as being kept in this room, and he's like, must I be a prisoner? Why am I being held here?
I'm just carrying out orders. He didn't say that in a British accent, but it was good in a British accent.
But it should have been.
Because it sounds like otters.
Yep.
And otters are my friends. Rights for otters along with rights for shrews.
Woo! We are breaking down barriers here in the zone. He's like, because you need to meet Mackay.
And he's like, are you scared of meeting Mackay? And he's like, I'm scared of nothing. And then like he later admits to being a coward, but
yeah. And
his
so
logic is
he's
a little
like,
flawed.
Oh boy, I'm not scared of meeting old lead bottom. And he's like, what's that, old lead bottom? Whoa! And he says, well,
dropped it on my foot.
I'm very sorry about that. And so he says, back in the days we would go back. Well, I mean, we do it. I mean, well, I don't. Well, it was back then. So
he had a couple of arguments about tenses.
Yeah, and he was like, well, so
we would fly, we flew.
And then
perfect,
there was
past perfect, and perfect.
They would shoot at us, and they hit him in his butt. Went up in the bunghole, came out the mouth.
No. He said, and it hit him in a
very embarrassing
spot, and we're all like,
the bottom. He's like, it's a private joke, so no one knows about it. So whatever. And he says, last I saw him, he was caught in a circle of 7 German airplanes. And he's like, why were you fighting them too? And he's like, no, I was fighting 3 others. And so he's like, well, he must have lived because he went on to fighting that second war we told you about. And he was one of Britain's greatest heroes, saved several lives, hundreds, maybe even thousands. And then Decker, he tries to escape, but then he gets pulled back.
It wasn't very successful.
Then he's like, I'm a coward!
Kind of reminds me of the Michigan Run.
And then he does this far too long monologue about how he's a coward and how he wasn't fighting and how he's going to let him die.
He was running away from them. I have to go and save him. Maybe this is the way that fate told me to give me a second chance.
Yeah, because he was like, I don't understand how he didn't die. And the guy was like, maybe he got help. And he was like, well, I must have helped him because no one else was there. So this is my second chance. I can go back and save him.
Which didn't quite seem like logic, but it was
yes,
okay.
It did. It was very cool.
I guess.
It made a lot of
sense.
Seemed
a little bit like, if you turn up there, I'd assume a lot of things before. Fate pulled me out of time to give me a second chance.
A cloud.
And
so here are my notes. Punchy, runny, climby, chasey, punchy, climby. OMG, there's a gun!
Okay, yeah.
So to summarize that, what happens is, he needs to save him, so he punches a guy, runs,
but then he has to punch another
guy. He punches another guy, then he runs, and then there's a woman, and he turns back, and we wanted to punch her for the fun of it, but he didn't.
Badly.
What a missed opportunity.
Yes.
Boo. Right.
And also, yes, and I feel like they also could have broken glass. It would have been so easy to have him jump out of the window.
Absolutely.
All they needed to do, or I don't know.
Could have been more
he can throw a bottle at someone.
Punchy.
Would have been so many missed opportunities.
So that's punchy running. Then climbing. He tries to climb into the airplane, but it doesn't work, and he has to start spinning the propeller or the rotor or whatever. And then he gets into it, and then climby, and then chasey. Yeah, because
I think you punch somebody first.
Well, chasey, and then punch, and then the guy
comes back and says, "Get out of the plane and stop starting the plane."
Right, and then he has a gun for no reason, and he's like, "Well, I have to save those lives," so then he flies away.
And the guy believes him.
Yeah. So then George Harper is mad at Major Wilson. He's like, "Goo goo goo," and then Mokai or whatever. He comes.
Mackay.
and they first say to him, "Do you ever know Decker?" And he's like, "Why, it saved my life." Well, at first he disappeared through a cloud, and then
I thought old Terrence had left me up a street without a paddle.
And then he came back.
Up a street without a paddle. What is this, Katrina?
Okay. So then he came back and then shot through the planes, died, but saved the guy's life, which is good.
And they're all like, oh.
And then they show him his wallet or something that he left there, and he's like, "Is this his?" And he's like, "How the devil did you get this?" And he's like, "What is this about?" And so Major Wilson says, "Maybe better sit down, old Leadbottom."
"Oh, Leadbottom, what did you just call me?"
And then George Harper is like, "What?"
And then they had the end, which I'd like to note included a really crappy segue.
Why don't you demonstrate what it was like?
This is a quote from a play, blah-de-blah-de-blah. This was invented before man took to the air and was still confined to the ground. And between the air and the ground is the Twilight Zone.
Nailed it.
That was pretty awful.
And so then, that's the end of the episode. And that is the story of how Leadbottom was not dead bottom. So the discussion, what do you think of this one?
I think this is the first episode that I've seen that was actually good.
Good.
I would rather do this than sleep.
Good, me too. I thought the story, although the time travel is a common concept on the Twilight Zone, I thought this was very clever and well constructed about how he had to go back to save the guy. And I thought so the plot was very good. The writing was awesome. It It was very good. I loved his monologues.
I'd like to point out that everybody did a great job of acting confused. So, this is kind of a trope.
Especially, the main guy, Decker. It was good.
Yeah. Sometimes, I don't know, you see confusion and it's totally
And it's
fake.
like,
Oh, I did not see that one coming.
What is this?
So what's your rating?
My rating is, well, the things that bring it down for me are, it's not, I mean, the whole episode is talking, which is kind of weird. It kind of works sometimes.
Quick chase scene.
And yeah, but it was weird that the whole plot was very telegraphed, and and it's kind of like nothing changes, they just realize things.
Well, then, at the end, they had a pretty good twist.
Yeah, the lead bottom thing was very good. Very sharp, very good. I mean, it was a good story, well told.
Okay.
Very nice stuff. I'm gonna give this one, how about 7? 7 out of 10. Almost 7.5, not quite.
Okay. So, honestly, I really enjoyed this one. I think this is going to be the first time that I haven't put out a historically low rating.
Oh, good.
Good. So, let's see. What's taking points down from the 10? The segue, definitely.
Oh.
And I'm gonna admit that the narration was a little bit, I could have liked more of the punchy, climby stuff.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good. I would have liked Glass to break because
Would have been nice.
14 out of 18.
There was a time when it was 13 out of 13. Those days are long gone.
Some of the monologues were a bit long, but I don't think it was that bad. So this is going to be in...
Are you building up or are you thinking?
I'm not sure. 8.
It's an 8 from
The
Zach.
from the man who's behind a 3.5 and a 4.
Wow. So
This is more than my previous ratings
yes.
combined.
He's just honest. So come back next week. The episode is going to be, oh, guess what? This is the halfway point. This is the 18th episode out of 36. We're halfway done. Then we're gonna get into the zonies, which is pretty much what this is all building up to. It's gonna be the best day of my life.
I think we're gonna have like a non-stop hour-long footage of glass breaking.
We might get a studio audience, but maybe not. Cause I mean, we're not gonna do it live because most of the footage, I'm gonna show some footage right now from this very episode where it's just me looking at my notes, trying to read it.
We might have like Zony's best Rowan looking at the notes.
Ooh, I hope not. Okay. Ooh. Looks and sees. So, next episode is going to be about the episode The Purple Testament, and someone with me is going to see you then. Bye.
Bye.